What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Tuesday Morning Quarterback. I'm Brandon. He's the legend, Brian DeGennaro, and we are back talking about another week. We're going to focus on New York football, the only team that actually played this week, the Giants, this week. So, all I'm going to say is just to start off quick, it's about fucking time. I've waited 4 years for the Giants to beat the Eagles. It has been 4 full years. In each win, there were so many heartbreaking wins. Fucking Jake Elliott's 61-yard field goal, Daniel Jones tripping and Evan Ingram dropping the ball last time. It's about damn time.
Listen, forgive me if I don't feel, sorry for you, being a Jets fan and all. But, congratulations. You got to win this weekend. You must be happy with that. Yeah, not much else to say on that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Daniel Jones? Be honest.
Okay, so now when he has a clean pocket and isn't being pressured every 2 seconds, he's shown the ability to be a good quarterback. Now, I say good because to win a Super Bowl, or how the Giants have done it in their history, is they've never had a top 5, top 10 quarterback. I mean, maybe the years of Eli, I would say 2011, Eli would be a top 10. But in terms of like those big top 5 quarterbacks to surround your team, they've never had one. They've always been defense first. And Daniel Jones has shown the ability, especially with now him being able to run, that when he needs to, he can put the ball in places that some quarterbacks can't. But it's just been the inconsistency that's really kind of changed. Like 1 week, I'm like, I hate him. Next week, I'm like, oh, maybe he's showing promise. I will say this week, Andrew Thomas, 3 straight weeks of great blocking. Him and Matt Perth, they finally put they're swapping him out. Thomas, and I will say this, the NFC East has some dogs on the defensive line. I mean, the Eagles' defensive line is not a cheapie. I mean, Fletcher Cox, of course, got a sack because he always does. But I mean, I want to see Daniel Jones continue. If he can build on this, then you're like, okay, maybe, because if the Giants, with the way the Giants are playing, first of all, I will say this, correct me if I'm wrong, this season, James Bradbury is the best corner in football. This season. Name another corner in football this season, though. I don't know if I'd say I would say at least top 5.
Yeah, all right, top 5. I'll give you that.
I just don't know who's better. Well, I mean, they targeted him 5 times this last game. 2 catches, 10 yards. I mean, but besides that, Giants defense, we're getting someone back soon, Xavier McKinney. I mean, there's something, for the first time ever, I'm like, okay, I'm actually enjoying what I see. But with Daniel Jones, it's just, as I wrote an article about, he has about now 6 more weeks to prove to the Giants that they can continue to win with him. And if he continues to progress, get a clean pocket and everything, and learn how to just not force throws, then if, let's say the Giants win 2 or 3 more games, then they'll get top 10 pick maybe. That is when you think about maybe giving Daniel Jones a weapon. I've said maybe give him a big wide receiver, like a tall, like above 6'1"
kind of guy.
I mean, I'd love DeAndre Hopkins. You saw it here. We have to admit that was crazy. But
yeah, well, so what do you think is the plan going forward? Do you think they'll build around the offense more? Because, like you said, they've always been more defensive minded. But now does it seem like they're moving more in the offensive direction? Because I feel like the Jets are doing that as well. They're going more offensive, whereas they've traditionally been a defense first team. So what do you think about that?
I mean, the Giants defense right now is really good. I mean, you have Bradbury for after this year, really 2 more years. I would say it's very solid. I'll say it's solid.
They're decent. They're
I would say
decent. They're better than we expected for sure.
Yeah. It's been solid. I mean, the secondary is going to be a lot better when Xavier McKinney comes back, which is soon, because then you'll have a secondary of Logan Ryan. I don't know if they'll play him at corner. Bradbury,
and when they re-sign DeAndre Baker.
Yeah, if they bring him back, that's the question. I mean,
I don't think he'd come back, but
because he wasn't even good when we had him, he was terrible.
Well, we can get to that in a minute, but continue.
Yeah, I mean, they have Blake Martinez, who's is a tackle machine and plays every single snap. And I will say this, the defensive line has been above average of what I've expected. Dexter Lawrence and Dalvin Tomlinson have really come into their own. Leonard Williams is actually getting to the quarterback this year.
Jet legend.
Yep. And it's above average. I think it all depends on where your pick is. I mean, if Micah Parsons, the linebacker for Penn State, falls into your lap in the draft, you take him. If somehow the Giants end up with the top 5 pick and Jones still had played decent, you take Patrick Surtain. I mean, there's different ways to go. I think it all depends on where they're going to end up in the draft and who's available.
Do you think it'll be Gettleman making the pick?
Absolutely not. He's gone.
Is that wishful thinking, or you really think?
I think they're fed up with him. I think at the end of the season,
he's been absolutely terrible.
Joe Judge, I believe, is going to have. I mean, I will finally say Joe Judge is a great coach.
Yeah, I mean, he seems good. Like you said, he's turning his team around. Which before the season, we didn't really think that they had much going for them, and they've looked pretty decent the last few games. So that's you got to give the coach credit where credit's due. Yeah. So and hopefully they found their guy.
Let's move on to the big story. So I remember in the beginning of the year, there was news on DeAndre Baker with a armed robbery at a barbecue.
Yeah.
And he said he was playing PlayStation. Others say he wasn't. So he was charged with, I don't remember. I think it was armed robbery or something like that. That would have given him like 20 years in prison. Mm-hmm. So Giants, of course, released him. Comes out today that the people that accused him of the armed robbery, their lawyer was arrested on charges of contempt. So all the charges on DeAndre Baker have been dropped, pretty much meaning that he was framed.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. But it's a wild story. But, this goes back to teams, they have these gut reactions where something – to be fair, it was a pretty terrible story when it first came out.
Yeah, and with how long it
had. It looked really bad. But, I mean, does part of you kind of wish that the Giants had held on to him and waited to see how the legal process played out?
No, because because at the time there was no evidence that was showing that he was not.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. I mean, no one expected, and especially with how long it's lasted, and especially you want to build a culture around the team. But now I see Giants fans like, oh, let's re-sign him. I mean, let's be fair.
He wasn't that great to begin with for you.
He was fucking terrible.
He was a bit of a head case and didn't really play well.
He didn't understand. He didn't understand coverages. I mean, at the time, it looked like a great pick, but he doesn't understand coverages. He did not know how to read the defense or even know the playbook, which is an issue. I mean,
he did really well with the Jets defense.
Extend Adam Gase. Adam Gase. But I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with him because it's just the whole story is kind of wacky. Like,
yeah, it's
why go after a 1-year player who was not even good? But like, a part of me still feels like that we're not going to know what really happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't bring him back because, like, let's be fair, he's not Marshawn Lattimore after his first year. He was not even, he made Janoris Jenkins look decent. And that's not easy to do. It'll be interesting to see what team he goes to. He's going to go to the Cowboys.
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, who knows at this point? I just hope that Dave Gettleman is not in charge anymore when it comes to the draft. Give Joe Judge or someone else. But for the first time, I would say since after the 2016 season, I've had hope.
It's good.
Because
nice.
Well, I mean, with at least the Jets, you have a competent GM. So you at least know when it comes to draft picks. And don't you guys have 2 first rounds this year?
Yeah, sure.
Jamal Adams looks terrible. Did you actually speak of that?
Get rid of Adam Gase.
Did you see what happened with Jamal Adams?
Yes, I did. And, well, I guess Seattle's finding out that he's really not as great as he's made up to be.
That's what happens when you give up 2 first-round picks.
To be fair, I think Adams is hurt. He's been struggling a lot this year, and I think he was dealing with some kind of injury earlier in the season, so maybe he's not 100% healthy right now. But that's what you get when you give up 2 first rounders for a safety. He's
Exactly.
gonna want $25 million a year or something like that. So I think it was a terrible move by the Seahawks. It was a great move by the Jets. Joe Douglas, my man.
If you look at the Seahawks defense, they are the
They're
32nd ranked defense.
Bad. They gave up 2 first rounders to be like the worst defense in the league. Like, come on, man. It's unbelievable.
I will say though, they do have the GOAT at defensive tackle now, Damon Snacks Harrison.
Yeah,
I used to see giant, and even never seen Jet fans, but some Giant fans were literally like going at him on Twitter, and everyone's like, whoa. Every smart fan loves Snacks. He loved the team, never quit. Still wish we didn't trade him for a 5th rounder, but I mean, hey, wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully he can get a ring, but at this point, the team, and before we end it, I will say the team the NFL needs to be on the lookout for that can surprise everyone.
The Dolphins,
the Cardinals.
Oh,
Cardinals. Just imagine this: Cardinals make it to the Super Bowl. Let's say 10 seconds left. If 2020 has a happy ending. Oh wait, but technically it would be 2021.
Right, of course.
But Larry Fitzgerald getting a ring and then finally retiring.
That would be really great. I mean, yeah, he deserves it.
Well, all right. I think that's it for us because the Jets did not play this week.
And we also don't want to talk about them. So,
all right. So, Giants are on a bye next week. Who do you guys play?
Chargers, I think.
That could be a good game.
No, it can't. Come on. Joe Flacco, Jet legend, is coming in at quarterback. So, excited for that.
All right. Well, I think that'll be it for us. And everyone stay safe and go Giants.